My goodness. Let me tell you guys how aggravated I am right now. I'm so aggravated. Welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk Marriage, where we speak marriage through
Transparencies.
I don't think they heard you.
I'm sorry, through transparencies.
It's only one transparency.
Okay, one transparent.
I am so upset. Sometimes I hate these audio issues or these video issues. Like you have these things that happen. Now I got to go back and take some things off on YouTube and all these other places that we are. And then, it is so annoying. It is so annoying. I guess I am a little bit of a perfectionist and things don't go my way. I get a little bit of an attitude. And that's okay. Because I just want to, when you put things out, I just want things to be kind of perfect. And when it's not, I just get a little attitude problem.
That's understandable.
Is it really though?
Yes. That's why I'm married to you.
You're married to me. What are you saying? I'm complicated?
No, nobody told me to deal with you.
Leave me alone. So you're saying that you have to deal with me?
No, that I love you enough, but I know how to understand you without getting agitated by you.
Okay, I'll take that.
See?
Yeah, whatever. You better put your mouth in the mic.
It is here. It is here. It is here.
All right. Well, go ahead and tell the people where they can find us.
You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts. I think that's all.
Yeah, and I done took us behind the stage, so you may need to say that again because apparently something ain't working. I don't know what's happening, but it ain't working. But go ahead and tell them again where you can find us.
Well, we can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook.
I guess that's it. So anywho, we're going to come in today and we're going to talk about pedophilia and what that actually looks like. I feel like there's a big echo or something. So we're in a big space and we're working on some new things that we actually need to get to cover these mics because our space is so big and
our voice are carrying in this place.
Yeah, so I can only imagine if you guys are listening to us, there might be a little bit of a feedback or I don't know. I don't know.
So like we're in a hollow room, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's bouncing back sometimes, but you can still hear what we got going on, and we go from there. You want to go ahead and take that out?
That's me.
You took it out, right?
Yes.
Anywho, so we're talking today about pedophilia, and we've been seeing, everybody's been seeing a lot of different things going on in the news. And the things that has been happening with, you got Puff Daddy and all this other stuff that's actually just happening in the news. And so as I work with, I don't work with people who have these particular types of issues. And in therapy, they always, tell us to know your market, know the people that you want to work with and the people that you can't work with. And these particular people, I don't actually work with people who have pedophilic issues or a particular diagnosis in that. And so I kind of stay away from it because I understand that sometimes people have mental issues because if you think about it, a lot of the times when people have these particular things, they've been hurt themselves. So we look at the Jeffrey Dahmers and the Jeffrey Epsteins and the Puff Daddies and all these people that are doing these things, even in entertainment and just regular, people that have these particular issues. Sometimes they've been hurt themselves.
Correct.
And so what happens is that they end up. It's like they just continue to repeat the same cycle, like we talked about last week. How abusers, like when you're spanking your kids and things like that, what is the real reason? What is the underlying issue behind it and why do people do it? So we were able to bring in talking about slavery and things like that as to how and why it happens. So nevertheless, we brought up some scriptures because I told you guys that as we come on here, we're not going to just be coming on here just talking and not have some things to back it up. And this is a Christian channel. We do believe in the Bible. There's some people that are going into some new things that I don't quite understand. I have, they always say, well, then you need to read about it. I read about it and I don't agree with a lot of different things. And then you have some that will say, well, it's because the Bible has brainwashed you. Well, brainwash it is, because then I could say the same about you as well. But I believe in the word of God. And if you don't have to necessarily listen. But this is where we're going to come from. So my husband found some scriptures. Where did you come from? What scripture did you find?
Well, we found some scriptures, especially when it comes down to pedophilia. It's actually this was in Mark 7.
Okay, you found it in Mark 7.
The 20th through the 22nd, 23rd, actually.
Wait, hold on. So let me get my trusty Bible app out. Put some bass in on my end.
Oh, you want some bass in your book?
Not like that, but yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so Mark 7.
Mark 7.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So Mark 7 and what?
20th through the 23rd.
Okay, let's go to the 20th chapter. You want to read it? Or you want me to?
You go ahead and read.
And then he added, it is what comes from inside that defiles you. For from within, out of a person's heart, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, unalivement, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, lustfulness, desires, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these vile things come from within. They are what defile you. So we're reading from the New Living Translation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you getting from that? Why did you bring that scripture up?
Because I don't think people think or understand where it comes from. It is the hand of the enemy, and we don't really understand. And I look at it, especially in the job I work at. When you see men come in that have defile young children, especially young little men and young ladies, it's sickening. And when you look at them, they don't have no remorse, and they really think it's all right or fine. And now our government getting ready to make that a law.
Well, so they're trying to.
They're trying their best.
Yeah, they're trying their best.
This is normal.
To say that this is that it's okay. So pedophilia and the problems that we have in our community, and I wrote this on my Facebook page, and you guys can read this too. So the problems that we have in our communities and it's in our homes as well. It's a psychological disorder, and it's characterized by persistent sexual attraction to prepubescent children. It is important to understand that having pedophilic thoughts or fantasies, it is not illegal to have these thoughts or these fantasies. But when you're acting on them in any way, such as by engaging in these particular activities, these SA activities with children, it is a criminal offense and a severe violation of ethical and moral standards. So when you're doing these types of things, and it is really an immoral type of offense that you are committing. So when we bring the Bible into it as well, it's telling you where it actually comes from. It's coming from a desire that you have in your heart. Even the deceitfulness, the lustfulness, the envy, the slander, the pride, the foolishness, all this stuff comes from your heart. We can't always know what a person is thinking, and we can't always know what a person is going to do. In the entertainment world, you have so many people that are preying on our young children that it's sickening. And we see this in the media right now with what's happening with Diddy and all the different things that he's done. And I've always said, like, something is up with this guy, but I'm not in that entertainment world. But I've seen this type of behavior before.
But remember, it haven't changed over years. It's been happening over years. It's just getting exposed now. From Elvis all the way down to R. Kelly, all the way down to, you name it, it's a lot of stars that have been involved in these type of acts. But it's just been in quiet where don't talk about it. This how we move, this how we roll. And if you say something about it, they either destroy you or how it goes, or they try to kill you. Unalive you. I'm sorry, unalive.
This is true, and it's like, what do you do, And the only thing that I can say is, so I was talking about how when I was younger, I posted it on Facebook, talking about when I was younger and I had the opportunity to play basketball, and the scouts were coming from all over the place. They, and the thing is that I was a C student. And my grandmother would always tell them, well, what about her grades? And they said, don't worry about the grades. And the thing is that that is true. A lot of these basketball, football players, some of them can't read, they can't write, they can't do a lot of things, but they can play ball, right?
They play ball, yes.
And so when they would come to my grandmother's house, they would always want to, take me over here, take me over there. And she's like, you're not taking her nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense to me. And so it was always, we'll give her like some shoes, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. And I'm just like, wow, like as a kid, I'm like, yeah, come on, grandma, please say yes. Like I can get the new. And back then, remember the light up LA Gears?
Yes.
Man, my grandma said, no, I'll buy you some. You don't have to, want these shoes or these things from, these people. So eventually I actually, not necessarily, I didn't flunk out of school because they didn't want to let me do that. The teachers were passing me with C's. But I ultimately ended up getting kicked out of school because I had some really terrible behavior. And it ran me into some really terrible situations that a lot of people don't understand, that your kids can get involved in some things that my grandmother always says, that you don't let the devil drive your car.
Yeah.
Because if you let him, if you don't let him ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you let him ride, he's going to want to drive. And if he drives, he's going to take you too far.
That's true.
So this is something that I understood at an early age, but I still rebelled and wanted to do my own thing. And rebellion it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, that's why, I'm kind of happy that with our children, we are so involved until it's almost, I ain't gonna say it's not impossible for them to get out there and do what they're gonna do, but it's like mom and dad got a strong eye over what I'm doing. So I just can't go out there and do what I want to do, how I want to do it. I have to be somewhat respectful about it, because, if we don't take charge and be more involved with our children, it's easy for them to, the predators out there, they're looking for a child, especially a daughter or a son that the father not involved or the mom not paying attention to. They are looking for them. They are easy to attract them. Here, he's gonna bring a pair of shoes. Oh, you need a couple of dollars? Here you go, sweetheart, or sir. Oh, it's been nice. Oh, could you come in my room, sit on my bed? You never know what could take place. But because we're not paying attention, because we're like, oh, John over there is nice to my son. Is he?
Is he really? Yeah.
Is he really? Are we paying attention to what John is doing? Right. Are we paying attention to how John moved with our son and our daughter? Are we paying attention to Susie? Every time you turn around, Susie going over there. Susie need my son to come over the house and move the bed. Why? We're not paying attention to, and our children, they do give us some type of warning sign, because they begin to, especially when you have an open relationship with our children tell us nearly everything. So when they speak to us, we have responsibility to tell them, all right, sweetheart. Now, what that sound like was to take place is pay attention now. What's taking place now? Remember, daddy talk about this, mama talk about this, and it helped them to be more aware of their surroundings.
This is absolutely true. Like talking with your children and getting them extremely involved in what's going on in the world. Like, you can't lie to them. Children are going to have questions about sex. They're going to have questions about, so many different things. Your bracelet is in my ear. They're going to talk about, remember, there's an echo in this place.
It is.
They're going to have questions about so many different things, and we have to be ready for these questions and not shy away from them, and keeping them involved with what's going on, like in the media, what's going on with their friends, and just talking about these particular things, because we have to keep our children, we need to keep them safe.
Amen.
Because if we don't, somebody else is going to come in. And, this is how, I remember just being out, in this particular city that I lived in. And there was a lot of homosexual activity just going on out there. And I was privy to a lot of different things, and things that I shouldn't have been introduced to at 15 and 16 years old. And a lot of older women groomed me into homosexuality, lesbianism, and different things like that. I saw things that I should not have seen. And not only that, like in this particular city, they are known for having stars that just be out, like you could see, anybody at any moment in time, especially when you're out in the clubs and different things like that. You could, see these particular people. And what I found very interesting is that they were with a lot of different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen, and I did things that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I'm glad that I am not in that position or in those particular situations anymore. And then you find the children that are on the streets, like the runaways, like the parents who have, I don't care what your child is doing. Like you can't be so saved or so just full of whatever it is that you think that you're full of, and you throw your children out because they go against what you may not believe, especially if they're not harming you, they're not doing this. This is something they want to do, for themselves, and they're just figuring out the world. It is a shame if you throw your kid out because they say they like, the same sex, or because I'm telling you, that world out there, I don't care what the gay community says, not all of them, but enough of them will take your children, and they will go in on your kids like never before. And I've seen it. I've lived in this lifestyle, and I've seen what it can do on the opposite end. And it is tough.
It's sad when you think about it that, because we are so old fashioned, as you want to say, where we forget that our children need our love, need our attention. I remember when I was younger, my mom, she used to be our entertainment, not the television. As in, she would have she would do like a carnival, and she play like she dressed like a clown and make us laugh, or she would do different things, make us act out certain scene that we saw on television. She allowed us to entertain ourselves without having to be entertained by stars.
Oh, okay.
And I think we got away from that because now our children have not developed their mind of their own imagination. They develop a mind of a star imagination. And they get fascinated over the stars, so they want to be that star or be with that star or even become that star. And then we wonder why our children are, especially in America, our new generation, their imagination is so far gone till they can't come up with nothing new. We have to go outsource to other countries to find something new, something more entertainment or something more innovating, because in America, our sons and daughters are behind in education because they have been entertained by YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and everything else, but what they need to be entertained by.
I'm going to agree with this. We have to be ever so careful of what we allow our children to see. Now they can't, there's nothing that you can escape. You and I came up in a time where television went off.
Oh, yes. Did it go off? Beep. That's it.
And then early in the morning, you were singing the Star Spangled Banner, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Then you had a cartoon, then you had the news.
And that was it.
Now you have, oh my goodness, it's scary.
Yeah, everything it's open and not even to interpretation anymore. Everything is open. You know exactly what it is. And this is a lot of stuff to just be shoving down our children's throat. And I never even agreed with, a male and a woman, kissing so much on television. Children don't need to see that. Even if you block out things, Disney has all this stuff that they're showing, and they're in the news as well.
Yeah.
For pedophilia acts and things that they were doing, that their superiors or whatever, management was doing in to a lot of these kids. And then we see, these stars and some of these children that we kind of, grew up with watching, and we see them, do different substances, and they're in all sorts of things. And we're trying to figure out why now it's coming out as to what happened to them. And it makes sense. It makes sense. I work in the substance abuse community, and a lot of them, when, they talk, and it's a lot of things that stem from their childhood, the trauma that comes along with what a parent may have done, or what an uncle or a family friend or the neighbor, may have done. Someone said, I was watching this thing, and someone, there was a Black guy talking about, of course, I'm a millennial or something like that. And he was like, my children are not allowed to spend the night to anybody's house. Now, I understood that. I was like,
Yes,
absolutely,
yes.
right? And those people are not allowed to spend the night over to our house.
Right.
And so in the comments, one of the ladies was like, you guys must have had a horrible childhood. Why can't you spend the night? All the Black people were just like, lady, you got to be crazy. Yeah. And so, you don't, if you've been through, and like, especially now the Black community is getting out and getting therapy, and they're getting the help that they need. But in some families, you have the uncles, you have the aunts, you have the cousins, the everybody, doing something, to these children because they have these pedophilic thoughts. And then, just like the Bible talks about in Mark that we just read, these desires and these lustful things come from their heart.
Yeah, because the thing is honestly, if we keep it a secret, we give it to get the enemy a chance to move in our life.
Yeah.
To cause things to continue on in next generation, because we keeping it a secret. When we're going to expose the enemy hand, so people will begin to get healed. Next generation won't be damaged or end up being abused because we kept things a secret, because we didn't want Uncle Bob or Uncle Joe or sister or cousin or grandparents to go to jail because of what happened. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when I begin to look at it, especially where I'm working at, there's a lot of older men and younger men coming in like a floodgate because of this situation right here.
And that's sad. But you know what? It's been there. It's just that now, like we watched, what is his name? What is his name? Oh my gosh, on Club Shay Shay.
Oh, Mike. Oh, no, Mike.
No, you can say Mike
Epps.
No, not Mike Epps. Cat Williams. And he talked about, all the dirty deeds. He's been spilling the beans. But when you start talking about, like, especially if you have a loved one, somebody that you just completely admire and you love, and then someone says, hey, this particular aunt or this particular cousin or this particular uncle touched me in an inappropriate way, it's hard to believe it because they present themselves in such a way that you would never even believe that any of this is happening.
True.
And so this is why a lot of people who have been through trauma or abuse, they don't say anything because of all the people that don't believe them when they're crying out for help. Like people don't believe them. And that is a really, that's a messed up place to be when you're showing and you're telling someone, hey, this is happening to me. And then boom, some people still send their kids over to that person's house because they need a sitter or they need this or and it's a real messed up situation. But there is healing for you. If anybody out there has ever been through that, there's healing for you.
Yes.
There's healing. There's therapy. There are people like myself. I do therapy with people who have been through trauma. I even know other therapists that work with severe trauma. There's some people who have had psychotic breaks because of trauma.
Yeah.
And that's why you never judge anybody, because you never know what they have been through.
Because some people destroy their image, so nobody want to look at them because of what happened to them as a child.
Oh, that's true too.
And we think that it's all right to laugh and pick and joke with them because of their image. No, sometimes you need to find out what happened or help them to heal. Sometimes a nice conversation can help a person to come out from where they're at, instead of holding them down or being angry or trying to be mad or trying to get a good laugh off their disability
or their pain. Yeah.
We have to realize everybody has some type of disability of the mind that could cause them to break. So there's something that show them on their person.
Yeah.
We have to protect our generation that's coming up, because perversion is ridiculous. It is so powerful. Going back to the television, when I was growing up, by the time the 90s came in, you didn't see perversion on television until after 12 o'clock. Now you see it early in the morning. It's on Netflix. It's everywhere. You cannot prevent it, because even in our cartoons now, it's like, oh my goodness, what? So I don't look at that. What is going on here? And it's scary because nobody paying attention, because we all going with the norm. It's normal. No, it's not normal for us to allow our children to, search the internet without our guidance. It's not normal for our children to grow up and not understand how to read without our guidance, or know math, or know anything, even how to live. When we think about it, as a father, as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, it's our responsibility to prepare our children for their future. If you're not preparing our children for their future, we're literally destroying them in the future.
This is true. This is why I always say, like at the age of 18, notice I'm still saying teen. These children, they may be ready to go off to college and explore, because they're getting bigger. They can't just sit around. And a lot of these companies need these new innovative minds and these ideas. And some of these children are very brilliant. And you get these kids that come in, these teens that come in, and they can do some wonderful things. You have Mark Zuckerberg. Heck, we're on his platform right now. He dropped out of college, and here we are. We're on Facebook,
That's true.
And it's a multi-billion-dollar platform just for you to be able to come. And what it was for before it was all of what it is now, was for college kids to be able to kind of communicate with each other. And then it turned into what we see Facebook is now.
Correct.
Very innovative, new ideas, these types of things. These are things that children come up with, and it just boom, it can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we still have to understand that a lot of them they still need to be protected. They still need to be guided. They are teenagers. They're 18, 19. They're not adults yet. They should still be guided through life with their parents. And so even in the therapeutic world or scientifically, these children are not fully developed until almost after 25.
That's true.
But then if you think about it, you got your 30-year-old son sitting on your couch. His frontal cortex may not be fully.
He's playing Nintendo.
He's sitting home playing Nintendo. Now that's just sorry.
And they don't even make Nintendo no more.
Yeah, PlayStation is Nintendo, isn't it?
Well, you got PlayStation. You have.
I'm just saying, isn't that Nintendo?
No.
Oh well, whatever. I don't know. I don't play video games.
I don't either.
I play podcasts with you.
That's true. That's true.
So you have these. They're not fully developed. Some of them are still making irrational decisions.
Correct.
Some of them are still moving. I know a 16-year-old girl who's a preschool teacher. She's on social media, and I think she has 2 degrees. Some children are really smart, but she's still 16, she still needs the guidance from her parents
Yeah.
because she's still a baby.
That's true.
You know, no matter what. I mean, like she may not be able, to get reprimanded like that anymore because she has a full-blown career, but she still needs
Guidance.
her parents' guidance because there are vultures out there, because there is a such thing as being book smart, but you have no common sense.
As you say, street smart.
Street smarts either. They don't have none of it.
You know, that's why it's important for a child to have a balanced life.
Mm-hmm.
Both parents to be involved or somebody that's responsible to help that child to guide them into their future without causing them hindrance. You know, when we take a child innocent away from them, what happened is we take their balance away from them. Now they have to find a way to rebalance themselves and to avoid the hurt that's going to be inside of them for a lifetime. And tell somebody to come and try to talk to them or put them through therapy or help them to grieve it out and help them understand that it was not their fault. People are so nasty, they will actually make that child feel like it was because of them. Where either there is because a young lady wanted to do this guy so bad. Well, you shouldn't come out the house at the bathroom with a robe on and he wouldn't touch you. No, that's not her fault.
And it's her house. You mean to tell me that I have men living with me that are going to do something? No, that is incorrect and inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
No. There are only really two men that are around our daughters and our son.
Correct.
That has changed their diaper, which is my husband and their godfather, and he's very involved in their lives as well, and he's very sensitive to them and people around them. That I've seen from when they've been little babies.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful of who you have around your kid. Outside of my husband and him, there are no men that are around or in my house like that around our children. And then you still, like you're trusting, but you're still watchful as well. Because like I said, the thoughts can be in a person's head, but they may not try anything, but the thoughts could still, you just never know.
That's
you
true.
never know.
That's true. The enemy speaks to everybody, but he really speaks to the ones that answer and respond. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, if you flee the devil, he will flee. If you resist the devil, he will flee. And we need to practice resisting the enemy so he can leave us alone. But instead, a lot of us answering to the enemy say, "Ooh, can I try it? Would I get in trouble? Would I get blamed?" No, no.
And I believe that's what happens
in
today.
hell for them people. It's a special hell in place for them people. And they think that it's okay, that God is going to be pleased with it. God will forgive them. It's a place. It's a special place God have for them type of people. It's a matter of fact, it's better for them to put a yoke around their neck and be drowned in the deepest sea than to be in wrath with God.
Yeah.
But we still consist of doing what we want to do. No, men and women that are involved in this type of act need to literally stop it. They need to seek help for themselves because it is a mental issue. Because something has to be going wrong in their head to think it's okay to take an innocent from a child. I don't care what is going on, how that child look, how they may even smell or taste or how it goes. No, that child's innocent. That child innocence should be where is it at until they meet marriage and be with the spouse they desire to be with. And then they can explore their life the way they want to explore what God meant for it to be explored.
So I posted on Facebook that as a therapist, combating pedophilia involves several key strategies: prevention and education, also therapeutic interventions, risk assessments and management, and they need to have some support networks as well. It is very imperative that these people get the help that they need, because it is sickening. There is a whole crew that is trying to say they're trying to push it in with the homosexual act to say that it's their right to engage with children. And the thing is that these kids, they get on these sites and they get on these the Roblox and the Fortnite and the all these things, right?
True.
And so like my son's friends are just like, your mom plays these games with you. Like they can hear me in the background. Like I'm there sometimes playing the game with him. I'm talking on the mic with him. Like I'm engaged in what's going on. And that's my strategy also to see who the heck is talking to my son. Like what's going on? Who's in your group? How do we,
Yeah.
and I asked my husband, well, how do I, these are the people that how do you get online with them and how do you do the online stuff? Because he wants to talk to his friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his friends and he has his cousins that he's interacting with. And if I see somebody new, I tell him, kick him out the group. Who is this person?
Correct.
And so, sometimes these are grown men and we have these AI things that can change these grown men's voices to make them sound like, to make them sound like kids. We have to be careful. And, the Bible teaches that the enemy is wandering the world, seeking whom he may devour like a roaring lion. Have you ever seen a lion when he roars? If the enemy is walking around like that, now, I don't think any of us are going to walk up on a lion and be like, oh, hey, cute little lion. No, he's walking around the world like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. If the parents are not paying attention,
True.
This means that the children can fall, because they are innocent. They don't even know sometimes.
Amen.
They will fall prey to the enemy's devices because the parent has removed themselves or have taken their guidance off and they're letting social media guide them. The devil is a bald-faced liar.
Yeah, my daughters or my son will not be going to no Drake concert, no Beyonce concert, no R. Kelly concert.
R. Kelly is.
But I'm just saying.
Are they going to jail?
No, but because the entertainment that they present is never really meant for children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to get to. We take adult entertainment and present it to our children and think it's okay. And their mind is very impressionable. And what happened is it caused an imprint in their mind that think it's okay to accept this, to accept this type of gifts, accept this type of talk, accept this type of act, or even to the point that I'm somebody on social media say, hey, send me a picture of you. Okay, ching.
So we ran into this issue with our daughter a few years back before I could fully understand what was it, TikTok? Yeah. Not TikTok, but Instagram was. Lord have mercy from Zion.
Uh-huh.
We ran into an issue where there was a man who was presenting himself on this app to our, she was 9 or 10 years old?
11 at the time.
Daughter, and my husband, he was so furious. He had to say to the man, I'm an officer and this, that, and the other. And the guy, he deleted everything, right? And from that point on, we learned how to get family link. So we link our all the kids' accounts. We can monitor exactly what they're doing. My daughter is about to be 16. That same child is about to be 16 years old. And she's like, Mommy, can you take family link off? I don't think so. At least got you until you're 18.
Yes.
We can give you these privileges. You don't need that much time on TikTok or Instagram. I know it's fun. You want to do a little dances. You want to do the little this, that, and the other.
That's fine.
But you got 2 hours to do it. You better figure it out and use your time wisely. And that's still too much, but I'm trying to not be so prudish to know that she sees these things with her friends and all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we still have to monitor. But I'll tell you, he took that stuff up. We learned this stuff so quick.
And the thing is we have 16 hours a day before it's time to lay ourselves down and get the proper rest. They spend 4 hours on YouTube, 4 hours on Instagram. That's already 8 hours right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we eat dinner. That's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You may look at television together. They go outside with their friend. That's probably for an hour. And then they do schoolwork, which is another 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. They spend more time on social media platform than they spend with family. I think we're missing something on this here. Because if our children spend more time on their platforms instead of their family, that means we losing the parenting control.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at television, they have parental control on it. You got to put the password on it. Why we have to put our password on it? Why don't we just take control of it and say, hey, come on, let's play Monopoly. Let's go play Connect Four. Let's go outside, play kickball. Let's play football. Let's do this. Let's watch the dog together. Matter of fact, let's go running together. Take them 4 hours and break it up.
Well, you know, so we've done that. So remember, like I said last week, what we do at 123 Carvel Way, you may not do it at 456. Do it your way. But,
we use that.
Yeah. So, but we've learned because a lot of parents are lazy anyway. So, you know, getting up and spending that time with them, like I said, you know, I have games that my children's friends will come in the house and be like, where's your mama? Because I'm about to beat her on the basketball game. I'm like, nobody is beating me on NBA 2K. This is my game. I play my game and I know how to play it well. When you come in, you're talking trash, you better know what you're doing. And a lot of their friends, they like that I'm there, and their parents, you know where their kids are, and they're like, oh, they're at the Carvel. Sometimes we even put they ask their friends could they come back, because we'll put the big screen outside and we'll do a movie night outside, and all their friends have to do is bring their lawn chairs, and we'll have pizza or something out there that maybe a parent will bring or something. But to interact with these children, sometimes their friends will call me. Just the other day, one of their little guy friends called and he sounded depressed. I said, I haven't seen you. Where you been? He was like, my grades, and my mom said I can't come over because of my grades. And I said, well, I hope to see you during the summer because we have a pool. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to come over because we can do this, that, and the other. We do a lot of things, even with our children's friends.
Yeah.
Because we know sometimes, you know, their fathers may not be there, or their mothers may not have the time because they have to work. But I'm at home. So, you know, we can do some of these particular things. But a lot of these parents, they are just as lazy. They are on. So if you guys go and look when you're driving home, look in the cars of people, you'll see everybody like this. Yeah. Everybody in the car, even the parents, even the people who are driving, they're doing this.
Why are they driving?
They're doing this. And is that a good thing? Nobody's talking in the car. You know, I have my Bible that I have in the car with us, and sometimes I go over different things with them and I ask them questions. I'm like, what do you guys think about this? And we have discussions, literal discussions that I have with the kids while my husband is driving, and he's just like, answer that question. I want to know too. Well, what you think about that? And we get into a family discussion, maybe about the Word of God. I can, break the things down for them because, you know, I can teach Sunday school and things like that.
Yeah.
So we break these things down, or sometimes they'll ask their dad a question while we're driving. If you're in the car, get off your phone. But we have family links, so we know how to, lock them out.
The thing is, well, one day I went to my phone bill. Everyone's probably go to my phone bill to see, exactly what everybody doing on the phone bill. And I'm looking at the data use on my phone, and I'm comparing the data and the phone time and the texting they do on the phone. And I'm looking at my wife's. She always have the most because she do a lot of business. But then when I look at my children and see that my daughters almost match my wife, I'm like, hold up, something is wrong with this here. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't have that much conversation, that much data going on their phone, that they're using that much within a month. We don't pay attention. Even when I'm walking down or going to a certain store, I look at now, even young kids now, they're young as I don't know what, doing this here. Walking like this here. They don't see nobody, they're walking like this here. What can they see? They don't even see their environment. Now I had to take my son to the eye doctor to get his eye checked. He have a little bit of stigmatism in his eyes, where now he does this in his eyes all day long. And I'm looking at him like, gee whiz, you see everything at one time.
and it comes from, we found out that it comes from when he plays the video games. He's in front of the screen like this.
And he's moving and watching everything.
His eyes can, and so we had to stop a lot of that screen time. But I say that I'm the problem with that too, because I play the game with him. So, but I don't spend a whole lot of hours.
No, I don't either.
But I play the game with him, and I understand why he goes to in front of the TV, but I didn't know that I was helping him mess up his eyes. They do like this.
Yeah.
When he's playing that game and he's moving his fingers, them things be moving fast. I'm like, what?
And now he have to wear glasses all the time.
Yeah, he comes home and I'm just like, oh, look at your little glasses.
But with saying all that, the closing is we have to monitor our children to prevent pedophilia.
Pedophilia.
We have to take more control of our children's destiny because it is connected to us. God do have charge us with our children's life till they get a certain age. And if you're not protecting them, who's protecting you? Because they're the ones supposed to take care of us. So if they're not here to take care of us, who's going to take care of us?
I like that. Well, listen, guys, next week we have Jessica Yates that's going to come on. I think she's coming on next week. She might not. She's a lawyer, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but also about she's a guardian ad litem. She also works with family court and different things like that. So she's going to be on the show sometime. I think she's going to come next week. And then the week after, or within this month, we're going to have Marie Porter to come back. She is with Lions Tax Services. She has her own business, and she is a CPA. And so with Jessica, she is she's an esquire. So I don't know how the lawyer stuff goes, but she has her own company as well, and she can definitely talk to a lot of this and a lot of the things that she has seen as well with, different people and a lot of the things that, go on in the background as far as when these things happen, how the lawyers, have to get involved. She's a family lawyer. So it's a lot that comes in with that. So I'm happy to actually know these people. And she is recently married as well. So her and her husband are going to come on. Her husband actually just so happens to be that godfather that I was talking about. And she is the godmother of one of our children, which is our son. And they have a really beautiful relationship. So nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and bid you guys adieu.
Yes.
We have done all that we can do. I don't know what be going on sometimes with this background. I know the audio, y'all going to have to excuse us. I can hear the echo in this mic. Yeah. I don't know what my husband did, but we need to test this stuff. And sometimes because we're in our office now and I'm in the back getting some stuff done, he's doing this. And sometimes I don't come out to do some testing. So I'm going to blame me too. My voice is a little different, but I know y'all hear me.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all can hear me.
I hope so too, because his voice is really, really deep, but we know that we need another thing, a cover for the mic so that it won't be so much feedback. But we're in a good position, which is great. And hopefully you guys at 12 o'clock may be good. It may not be good. Maybe you guys will go back and, watch it, and that's good as well. But we're trying to bring this thing back and trying to be consistent with these things. To be honest with you, I never really wanted to do this because I think that people, I've worked so much with people and I know how it's annoying. But my husband's dream or his, I find that his destiny or his, what is it? What he wants to do, I can't think of the name right now, is to inspire families. And
heart desire.
That's your heart desire, but your reasonable service. It's your all of that. And he really wants to work with, or you really want to work with families. And I see that you want to do that. And I get on here with you because we're connected, and you can't talk about families if your wife ain't coming on here with you. And so I come on here sometimes reluctantly because I just know people, but he has a heart for this stuff. And I understand, and I'm a talker too. So
So you have fun sometimes.
Sometimes I mean, I always have fun with you.
I know.
But you guys go over to neighborlycareservices.com as well. We have started our new company. We are now taking insurance, and we take Medicaid and we take Simply Care as well through Medicaid. And so what we do is we go out into the homes. This is a home care service where we go out into the homes and we help the elderly or anyone that's having like some issues and they need some home care. We actually can go into the home to do that. We're certified through ACA, DCF, and all that jazz that we are able to do this. And our company itself is now insured with different insurances, and we're working on some others as well. And then, of course, I still do the therapy. And then we also have an adult day training center that will be opening up here soon as well. So you guys be on the lookout. We're doing a lot of different things, and I'm so proud of us, of the things that we're accomplishing. So we can't be on a social platform and not promote our own stuff. We're promoting everybody else, which is good, but we have to promote ourselves as well. So we love you guys. We thank you for always coming on. Is there any last words that you want to say, Ben?
No, we'll see you next week.
I guess we shall see you next week. All right. Love you guys. Stay blessed. See you next week.